Seen my screen, check out the screen, the YouTube screen. You can give me a little bit more space up there. All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Hello Neighbor Show this Sunday, the 31st of May, 2026. Hello, Caroline. How are you doing?
Good evening, neighbor. Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not bad. I have Shefreen over here telling me that she's going to have to leave 9 o'clock tonight because she has to give somebody some attention.
Oh, okay.
So we're asking for a early close tonight, and because we had arranged that earlier, I had gone ahead and made some arrangements too. So is that okay?
Well, you got to do what you got to do, huh?
That's right. That's quite correct.
Of course.
Well, nice to have you. Nice to have you.
Likewise, neighbor.
Yes.
How was your?
Well, I went to church today, and I should tell you, Caroline, that there is a story in the Bible where Jesus turned water into wine, on the instruction of Jesus's mother, who told the disciples, whatever he says to you, do it. And it was a fantastic sermon talking about giving our water to the Lord so that he can turn our nothingness, our invaluableness into something very precious. Wonderful.
Oh, well, that's wonderful, neighbor.
Yes.
Yes. Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Please tap the screen, share the live, repost the live, send the heart me's,
Yes.
and support the live goals.
Absolutely.
All right, neighbor. Have a great show.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all that you do for this show. Thank you so much, listeners. Welcome. Jamaica's politics has always been a tug of war between four systems. The systems are democracy, technocracy, bureaucracy, and plantocracy. I'll explain them to you. The question is, who really runs Jamaica? Who is in charge? I found it fascinating. And Harry, if you're listening, I'd like to engage you in a thorough discussion on Shefreen, I'm not seeing myself on YouTube. I don't know what's happening.
You're on YouTube, neighbor, and you look great on you.
But it's small. From my end, I'm in a little small box.
Okay. I think you need to maybe shift your camera a little bit.
No,
Down a little.
No.
Yeah.
You have to do it. Just put me in a bigger box.
Do you want the entire spot?
Yes, please.
Okay, no worries. I'll do that.
All right. So
Oops. One moment. Sorry.
Put me on the other side.
Sorry. Keep going. I'll fix it. I'll get to
it. There you go. What? You're such a wonderful support. Caroline, thank you for Shefreen. She's very good. Thank you. I'm gone again, Shefreen. I'm gone again. Fix me up.
I'm working on getting you in half the box, neighbor.
Thank you.
Yes. No worries.
So the tug of war between four systems: the system of democracy, the system of technocracy, the system of bureaucracy, and the system of plantocracy. And the question that emerges from that is, who runs Jamaica? As a matter of fact, you could enlarge that and ask, who runs the world? I don't know if you know that there have been systems designed to keep people unenlightened, uneducated, or undereducated. And if you look at religion, and if you are a believer in Christ, you would realize that Christ really came to set the captives free, because the systems of this world are never designed for the have-nots, the poor and oppressed, the dispossessed. They are antithetical against the progress of the poor. Democracy is the promise of power to the people. Bureaucracy needs process. Technocracy trusts the experts. And plantocracy is the legacy of land, wealth, and control. Every government, both PNP and JLP, has had to manage all four. The tension between them explains why policy moves slow. You ever wonder why, the road them can't fix? You ever wonder why? You ever wonder why the pothole broke out into the road and it can't fix? I mean, think about it. I mean, I drive to Portmore a couple days ago, and I tell you the truth, road them bad. You ever wonder why they can't fix? You think it's because the government don't have the money? You ever wonder why things don't get done in the country? You ever wonder why? It is where politics clash with the three crasses. Politics clashes with the crasses. Some people may even call them crasses.
Asking everyone to repost the live, please.
And change feels so hard. And it is into this that you find a man by the name of Holness. And that is the struggle that he is up against. The Prime Minister warned about technocracy and bureaucracy. And it raises a bigger question. In Jamaica, who actually makes decisions? Who is it that is making decisions? The voters on September 3rd chose a government. That is democracy. The voters did not choose the technocrats, the bureaucrats, or those who are part of the plantocrats, the plantocracy. So democracy is really not real, you know. Democracy is not something that is real. And democracy is the idea that the people are in charge. Demos, the people. That's not true. In a large extent, the people don't have no power. They don't. The systems of the world are not designed to give the people power. As a matter of fact, opposition leader Mark Golding spoke of the malignant influence of money. The malignant influence of money on the electoral process. In other words, democracy is a farce. It is only existing on paper. Who really runs the country? Who is in charge? And in Jamaica, is it the voters, the civil service, the experts, or is it the inherited economic powers? If you don't understand the forces at play, you will get it wrong. And Jamaicans have gotten it wrong, you know. This idea that the people have always made the right choice is not true, you know. Not true at all. You have to understand the forces at play to see why development stalls and why the Prime Minister faces pushback when trying to change course. You remember Portia Simpson Miller said, "We're not changing no course. We're not changing no course." Now, Andrew Holness wants to change course. Yeah, let me see if I can find something here. Listen to this from Mr. Holness, a speech he made
that on YouTube and TikTok.
on the campaign trail. This is Mr. Holness on the campaign trail. I'm taking my time. I want to go to the callers at about 8 o'clock for 1 hour. I think that Mr. Holness has all the right intentions, and he's a post-colonial prime minister with all the right thinking. However, he lacks support. The prime minister lacks civic support to fix Jamaica. And the more I have thought about where we are as a country, the more I wonder if more people don't come out to support him, whether or not, well, let me not even say it. Listen to the Prime Minister on the campaign trail. Listen.
The bad mind us. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for its performance. The bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party for our achievements. And
So the Prime Minister calls it bad mind. Fascinating. The interpretation of the Prime Minister is that they bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party. In other words, the work the party is doing, many don't like it. They bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, I want you to understand, that it is not debatable that Holness and his government have presided over the most transformative period of government since independence. That is without question. Even comrades have said that the Andrew Holness administration has presided over the greatest transfer of wealth from the rich to the poor. In other words, it is a reversal of the 90s mantra. And the Prime Minister is colloquially saying that they bad mind us, they bad mind the Jamaica Labour Party. The Prime Minister, listen to him.
they are bad minding us for doing the things that you have always wanted a government to do. And when they had power for all this time, they never do it. And as soon as we start to do it, they try to turn the good into bad. They are a bad mind set of people.
Imagine that. A prime minister having to call the system bad mind. Who is the Prime Minister talking about? Not only the BNP, the systems, the plantocracy, the technocracy, the bureaucracy. 1 p.m. against them. Bad mind? Fascinating. He had more to say.
So we have been doing what the people want us to do. We have been fulfilling the social consciousness and social conscience of the people of Jamaica, who say everybody should have a good house to live in. Remember, them did bad mind about my house. And when you give me the chance to say, I'm never make sure say every Jamaican have a good house to live in. And we have administered the affairs of the nation such that we can deliver that promise. And as I stand here today, I tell all of you who are gathered and everybody who is listening, put that on YouTube and TikTok, that under my administration, every Jamaican will have decent shelter to live in.
You hear that? Under my administration, every Jamaican will have good shelter to live in. It's an aspiration. Prime Minister wants to take people out of shacks and give them good house to live in. But it requires more support from Jamaicans. Yes? Now, the colonial plantocracy led us into independence, and it's post-independence democracy. And today we have a mix of bureaucracy and technocracy. Jamaica's political parties have had to rely on these systems. The PNP and the JLP were shaped by them, and they continue to shape policy growth and public trust today. And so, coming out of last week's thoughts by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister spoke about technocracy and bureaucracy and the danger that these pose when they have their own political interests. And that has caused us to ask a bigger question. And that is a question Jamaicans have been wrestling with since independence. The question is, who really runs things? Who is really running the show around here? Let me break it down for you so that you understand what is really happening. You vote in a democracy. Democracy assumes power to the people. Both the PNP and JLP were born in that era. It means that the leaders are accountable at the polls every 5 years. That's the promise. Yes, so the parties have to put in place manifestos. Yes, and they put it to the people, and the people choose. The second one is the bureaucracy. That's the civil service. That's the ministries, the procedures. The file must pass through these decks. It was built to make government fair and consistent, not dependent on who is in power. The upside is that it allows for continuity. I heard Professor Morrison explaining the permanent secretary. You notice what they are called? Permanent. Permanent secretaries stay in place. It doesn't matter when the government change. The downside is that it is slow, and every prime minister has complained that good ideas die in the paperwork. Bureaucracy can stifle democracy. The third is what he refers to as the technocracy. That's where the experts come in, the planners. Since the 1970s, you had the IMF era, and Jamaica has always had to rely on experts. We had to lean heavily on experts. You know, the upside is that we've got good advice in terms of data, but the danger, which the Prime Minister flagged, is that experts develop their own agenda and they are not elected. So who do they answer to? The experts are not politicians, but they have political agenda. The technocrats and the bureaucrats are not elected officials, but yet still they have political agenda. And the final one is the plantocracy. That is the colonial legacy. You know, power that is tied to land, wealth, and the economic interests in the country that is established. It didn't end in 1838, you know, the Emancipation Declaration. Both parties have had to deal with it because Jamaica's economy was built on it. It shapes who fund the campaigns. Have you ever asked yourself who fund the campaigns of the parties? I mean, billions of dollars. Who owns media? Who controls the key industries in the country? Here's the point. No government escapes the bureaucracy, the technocracy, the plantocracy. Governments had to work with bureaucrats, technocrats. The Jamaica Labour Party is pushing an agenda that suggests that we need speed. We need to cut through the red tape in order to deliver for the people. And that is where the challenge is emerging. Yes, because you will find that there is pushback, because notice that some people are suggesting the concentration of power. The concentration of power. If you listen to the NARA debate, you will hear that coming out more than once, where they fear that the authority to make decisions will be taken from the bureaucrats and the technocrats and placed in the hand of the politician. In this case, in the Prime Minister's hand. So when we ask, is technocracy and bureaucracy inhibiting growth? The answer is that the systems have helped. Democracy gives you a voice. Bureaucracy gives us rules. Technocracy gives us expertise. Plantocracy gives us capital. But when any one of them becomes unchecked, development stalls. And we have not broken through in Jamaica because the systems that are established have held back the policies of the government. And I suspect that where the struggle is now is that this Prime Minister wants to deliver at a speed that the system is not allowing. So the real question for us as citizens isn't, is the Prime Minister right? It is, how do we balance the systems and keep Jamaica going? That is the real question for us. Welcome again to the Sunday edition of the Hello Neighbor Show. It's 25 minutes to 8 o'clock. And we are going to be going to your calls in at 8. So get yourselves ready for 8 o'clock. We're talking about the establishment and who it is that really runs things. Democracy versus the establishment. We are examining the Prime Minister's statement last week where he called out the establishment and he says that he's prepared to stand up against them. And I'm putting it to you that the problem Jamaica faces is that technocrats and bureaucrats with political interests are holding back the progress of the country. They are standing in the way with the systems, that inhibits the progress of the nation. And I'm making the point that more people must support the Prime Minister in pushing forward with his agenda of ensuring that every Jamaican live in a good house. That is the Prime Minister's overarching vision for Jamaica. He wants all Jamaicans to live in a good and decent house. How is that going to be achieved? You think it can be achieved over the next 5 years? Do you think it can be achieved over the next 5 years? When procurement processes are taking 3 years? Well, are you prepared to give the Prime Minister another 2 terms? Are you prepared to give him another 2 terms? You heard what he said? He wants every Jamaican to live in a decent house. And the Prime Minister is saying that the bad mind him. Bad mind happening in Jamaica. And the bad mind people don't want him to deliver on behalf of the Jamaican people. So 1 p.m. is against 4 systems. So it's a 1 man against 4. 1 p.m. against 4 systems. There is an old idea. Welcome, Scratchy. There's an old idea in political philosophy that is called the philosopher king. Philosopher king. The philosopher king versus the city. Philosopher king versus the city. Machiavelli called it the prince versus institutions. And this is where the core tension lies. That's more than 300 years ago, the prince versus institutions. The systems of the democracy, which is the check by voters, the bureaucracy, which is the check by process and rules, the technocracy, which is the check by expertise, and the plantocracy, which is the economic power. The plantocracy is the check by capital, the market forces. The philosophical question here is, when is standing with the people actually the people serving the people? When is it that the people are served? Yes, and when does bypassing the systems create risk? There is no clean answer, because every prime minister faces it. And what I feel that Holness is trying to say is that he is being held back by the system, but he is prepared to fight the system on behalf of the people of Jamaica. Now, if that is what the Prime Minister is saying, why is the Prime Minister not getting the support of the people? Why? The Prime Minister is saying that I want to deliver for you. I want you to have good roads, good hospitals, good schools, and live in good homes, and have good, decent incomes. But for me to do that, I have to overcome the system, the trapped system that we inherited, the bureaucracy, the technocracy, the plantocracy. Why is it that more Jamaicans don't see this and come out and support the Prime Minister and say, yeah, and this we want? Why? Can you tell me why? I find it, I don't have the answer. I don't know. Damsel, so we are doing.
Asking everyone to repost the live, please.
Damsel, so we are doing so. Now, I want you to understand that groups have political interests. Every group have a political interest. Whether it is the unions, the church, the non-governmental organizations, those associated with business, that's normal. The question is, when does advocacy become control? When does funding sources shape the group's voice, which is where we are in Jamaica, where the voice of the advocacy is being shaped by money. And it is very sad that there is no independent voice that you can look to say, these people have no political interest whatsoever. And that cannot even be said of the church. Because even when the church speaks, sometimes the very pastors are speaking with political interests. Now, another question I'd like to ask you is, how is it that the unions, the church, the NGOs, the business people, think tanks, how is it that the majority of them seem, quote unquote, to be in support of the opposition People's National Party? How? How comes? Huh? You and I have agreed that Jamaica is enjoying the most successful period of government since independence. There are less poor people in Jamaica now than ever before. And if that is a fact, how is it that there are not more people in support of progress? You're telling me that the progress of the nation does not win the support of the groups? Civic organizations don't see so the country make progress? I could go very deep, but it would get too technical and academic. It would get too academic for you. So I am just basically creaming off for you. Because Jamaica, is a very interesting country. Jamaica is a very interesting country to govern. And every day I sit here, I feel that the eyes of our people are blind. The eyes need to be opened. There's a great struggle in Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. There's a great struggle in Jamaica. And somehow I feel that this Prime Minister is an advocate for the people. I tell you the truth. I believe it. I believe that that Mr. Holness is an advocate for Jamaica. I think he loves Jamaica dearly. That he has a vested interest in the growth and the development of his people. But does the people have a vested interest in themselves? Do the people really want change? Or they just want to stay trapped in the cycle of poverty, collecting a $5,000 here and there? Jamaicans have ambition? That is the question. Do we really have ambition as a country? Because Adam Smith spoke about the poverty of aspiration, the poverty of it. And I wonder whether or not the 18.5 years of PNPism psychologically affected the nation to the point where we are trapped in a place of psychological poverty, a cycle of hand to mouth, where we feel as if that is our lot in life. Something wrong with us. Something wrong with us. Because I can't see how a people, but theology explains it, And the children of Israel were enslaved for 40 years. 40 years they were enslaved. And Moses, through the hand of God, delivered the people from 40 years of slavery. And when they came out of Egypt, the Bible said that they were there making bricks out of straw, and they were eating onions and garlic. Now you know onions and garlic, how it is. Garlic and onion, well, it's good for seasoned meat, but my God. And Pharaoh had the people trapped for 40 years, eating garlic and onions, and there were lashes over their backs, and they had to produce bricks out of mortar and straw. And when they were delivered, them said they want to go back. The people start to complain that Moses carried them out in the wilderness to kill them off. They want to go back. They wanted to return to Egypt. And you know how long they stayed in the wilderness for? 40 years. Because 40 years of enslavement don't disappear in 2 weeks. For 40 years they were enslaved. For 40 years they were going around and around in the wilderness until most of them died. And I will tell you this, and it may sound brutal, but it is theological and it's philosophical. For Jamaica to grow, it's not only the PNP that needs to go, but some of this generation have to die. Must be dead. Because the thinking is wrong. It is thinking that make it a man. And the minds of many Jamaicans are trapped in PNPism. PNPism. And the generation have to go. We need a new thinking in Jamaica. A thinking that is more inclined into capitalism and less into socialism. There is a socialist ideology that is still very much alive in Jamaica. And if it don't die out of the country, that is where the fight is. It's a very serious point. Because I can't see how there are political vested groups fighting for the PNP to go back into power. To do what? To do what? Why would you want the PNP back in power now? And you know, there are some, you know, I see Harry, I'm having some sinus problems here. I see Harry calling them a word that I can't use on here. There's some people who will tell you that if Mark Golden come into power tomorrow, rice price drop and flour price drop and chicken back drop. Gas price will drop at the pump. That's what I'm going to tell you now. Then we'll tell you, say, the price run a back road I got dropped. What type of thinking is that? What type of thinking is that where some people feel that just give Mark Golden, make Mark Golden going on and the price of flour gone down. Price of rice drop. Chicken back, price I go drop. Patty I go drop. Put Mark Golden in power and patty drop. That not downright stupidness, man. That is the type of country that we live in today. I want you to listen again to the Prime Minister.
That is not a promise, but doing the things that you have always wanted a government to do, and when they had power for all this time, they never do it. And as soon as we start to do it, they try to turn the good into bad. They are a bad mind set of people. So we have been doing what the people want us to do. We have been fulfilling the social consciousness and social conscience of the people of Jamaica, who say everybody should have a good house to live in. Remember, you know, them did bad mind about my house. And when you give me the chance to say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that every Jamaican have a good house to live in. And we have administered the affairs of the nation such that we can deliver that promise. And as I stand here today, I tell all of you who are gathered and everybody who is listening, put that on YouTube and TikTok, that under my administration, every Jamaican will have decent shelter to live in. That is not a promise. That is a commitment. Some of you even here will say, there goes the politics.
All right, so you hear that now. So the commitment from the Prime Minister is that Jamaicans will have good house to live in. The question is, how will he achieve it, considering the forces that are against him? It is the anti-institutional leadership. This is the outsiders versus the establishment, right? And if Jamaica is to achieve economic independence, the prosperity that the Holness administration promised in 2016, then we must fast track the development, the delivery of service to the Jamaican people. Because since 1992, since Jamaica's independence, every Prime Minister, Buster, Manley, PJ, Portia, they have wrestled with it. How are we going to have economic independence in a system that is fighting against the progress of Jamaican people? Right? And I think that is the greatest achievement that a Prime Minister can deliver to the people of Jamaica. Let's go to the calls. We have 3 minutes to 8 o'clock. Let's see who we have online. We close at 9 o'clock tonight. All right. So if you want to come up now, let's have you, and you can talk your mind. You don't have to necessarily work with what we have. You can speak what is on your mind. Good evening to your caller. Hello. Good evening, caller. No, not there. All right. So we don't have anybody yet. So okay. So the lines are open now. You can share. You can come up and let us hear what you have on your mind. The real point is that we have to examine the progress we have made and what it is that has held Jamaica back. And here is where NARA comes into focus, because if you examine the NARA debate, the NARA debate falls right into this, because the Prime Minister is hinting that had he worked with the system of technocracy, the system of bureaucracy, then all he would do is to create another bureaucratic architecture which inhibits and delays and slow the delivery of progress on behalf of the people of Jamaica. Can't work. Yes, and I encourage all of you listening to me to understand beyond what meets the eye. Yes, beyond what meets the eye, and see if you can appreciate the point that the Prime Minister is making, that your interest is the interest that he has at heart. Your interest, the interest of the Jamaican people. But the question is, does the Jamaican people understand this? And do they have their own interests at heart? That is at the heart of the struggle that Jamaica faces today. That is at the heart of the struggle that Jamaica faces today. Yes? The struggle for our economic independence. The struggle to get things done at pace, at speed. Are you going to support? Yes. Are you going to support the prime minister in this regard? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens over the next 3 or 4 years. Good evening, caller. Hello. Hello, Mr. Innovative. No. I'm hearing an echo. I'm hearing an echo on your end. So, are you there? No. Okay. The lines are open. Please remember, you can join if you so desire. So the question is not to abandon the systems, because the systems were set up to ensure accountability, to ensure good government and good governance. It's not to bypass the system. Yes, it is to ensure that you can work within the system and deliver on behalf of the people of Jamaica. And the real question that we must answer here is, what is the political interest of those groups that are being funded to hold back the progress of Jamaica? What is their political interest? What do they have to gain from Jamaica being held back? What is it? Okay, what is it? And here we have the Prime Minister standing and declaring or revealing to us that they do not have our interests at heart. Whose interest do they have at heart? The Americans? The people of Britain? The Canadians? The Cubans? Whose interests? And you should ask the members of parliament who voted no to the NARA bill, whose interest do they have at heart? Is it the People's National Party's interest? Am I to understand that the People's National Party coming to government tomorrow, that the People's National Party would not be acting in the interest of the Jamaican people? If they don't have the Jamaican people's interest at heart, whose interest do they have at heart? It's a fascinating question. It's a fascinating discussion that we need to have. Because I did a contrast, with Jamaica and Singapore, and it's fascinating. Because the advancement of societies like Singapore was precisely because there was less bureaucracy, less technocracy, and less plantocracy involved in the process of their growth. And what the NARA bill is seeking to do is not to bypass the bureaucrats and the technocrats, is to find a way so that the minister, who is the prime minister, can intervene and authorize things to go forward at a faster, at a quicker pace. Too many delays, man. And it is, I tell you the truth, it's really part of the problem that the country is having. But as I said, your time. Let's see what you have to say. What is up on your mind? I don't know who we have over on that side. There's quite a bit of people up on my end. Moderators, I'm not so sure what you have over on your side there. Good night to you.
Neighbor, let's get to some of the ones on your end, please.
Hello, China 749. Hello. Not seeing him. All right. This is Pastor is back. Hello, Evangelist.
Good night, neighbor and to your viewers. Good night. How are
I'm doing all right. There's an echo on your end.
Yeah, oh, it's because I'm in the garden, so let me get outside.
Oh, all right.
Right,
Uh-huh.
hearing me better now.
I am hearing you better, yes?
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, what the Jamaican people are experiencing now, because I have a lot of things that I really would like to talk about.
Uh-huh.
And I see where I see where the Nara had come at a very timely, timely place in our history, because we are used to people, right? We are used to people campaigning and promises but never deliver.
Yes.
And this contributed towards a low voter turnout when it comes to the elections, because people are tired of sweet talkers.
Yes.
Every time there's an election, you have a lot of sweet talkers. And when it comes to the performance, we see where, you know, just like my scooter tire would need here sometime, I see them flat out,
Uh-huh.
you know, not performing, not doing what they said that they were going to do. And this dirty politics thing, what I've seen that Mr. Holness have done is that he had stepped away from the dirty politics thing, you know, where people dig up all sort of lies and use the media to push it.
Yes.
Now, what I have seen that the opposition is doing, they are still relying on that tactics, those tactics. And what they don't understand is that this is the age of information, and this is the age of technology where everybody can simply go on the internet or on websites and look up things. So when they come pushing a lie, you have well-thinking Jamaican people. They are going to go online and find out if what they are saying is true.
Yes.
And another thing you need to understand is that when you hear people saying that the prime minister is corrupt, and we're still looking right now. We are still looking for the corruption.
Uh-huh.
Is he corrupt by wanting to build a country that he lived in?
Uh-huh.
Remember, you know, is a man that grew up on the streets, just like how sometimes I have 2 jobs, you know, and plus I am a pastor. So I have my small business, plus I am a security officer, plus I'm a pastor, right?
Yes.
So what happened is that he grew up on the street, so he know the struggling. He grew up in a ghetto area, so he know what hungry feel like, right? And for a man who can relate to all that the common people is going through or is currently struggling with, this, I say, man, it couldn't have been, Jamaica couldn't have selected a better person right now to be the prime minister.
Yes.
Because most of those persons, like Mr. Golden, this man born in riches, him don't know what hungry feel like. This man don't know what it feel like to eat dumpling with butter. Him don't know. Because he had never done that. You understand? Because this man born in money. And to see a person like Mr. Holness who used to walk and sell business in order to make ends meet, wanting to build a Jamaica where people can find job, where you don't have to be eating dumpling and butter. This is a type of government that I support, because they can relate. Him can relate to us. I can relate to him. He can relate to us. Another thing, we hear them talking about the Nara, the opposition talking about the Nara. Where him come from in the Nara? Him doing business in the Nara business. Him should come out of Nara business. Why I say that? Because he did not voted for it. So what am I doing a Nara business? Did he voted for it?
Who is that?
Pardon?
Who is that?
Mr. Golden.
Oh, uh-huh.
That they want to know the process that the government go through after the government announced, the prime minister announced the process, that they go through to select the CEO for Nara.
Yes.
Right? And I hear all sort of foolishness in the media about the person that was appointed CEO. So my thing is, Mr. Golden did not vote for Nara. So when business in it, him should keep his mouth shut, man, and keep out of Nara business. Because he did not, it means that he's still not supporting Nara. So when we know about the selection process, what he want to know again? It has been clearly explained during the Prime Minister's presentation on the day that he was announcing the CEO, how it was done. So what else is Mr. Golden want to know? What else he want to find out?
Yeah, let me ask you this, Pastor. The fact of the matter is that why is it that there is not more support for this struggle that Holness seems to be undertaking on behalf of the Jamaican people? That the establishment seem more aligned to the opposition People's National Party than the governing Jamaica Labour Party. Is that not something you have noticed?
Yes, and the reason why I think that the opposition is opposing what the government is trying to do. You know that most of their supporters are persons that can't read and write.
Oh,
right? So when
the opposition supporters are struggling to read.
Yes. Because most of the strongest supporters are the persons that are in the slum, the inner city people, right? Because most of their constituencies, their heavy supporters are persons from the inner city, and when we would have ghetto, those are the type of persons. They mostly have their stronghold. Most of the garrison area are PNP. I'm not saying that the Jamaica Labour Party don't have garrison areas, right? But most of the people, their stronghold, even in Kingston here, most of their stronghold, the PNP supporters are the ghetto people. We don't really understand. So nobody is not there to explain to them. So when persons like me try to explain to them, I am seen as an offender. I'm seen as an offender or one that don't know what I'm talking about. You understand? They don't understand that when the opposition put out something out there, it's not for them to just grab and go. It's for them to investigate to see if the opposition is really speaking truth. Being the government watchdog, well, right now we don't really have a strong opposition. So, because the opposition that I see now is a joke thing. Because you cannot, as much as your name is opposition, you can't be opposing the thing that is benefiting the people. You oppose corruption, right? You oppose persons that are squandering taxpayers' money. You don't oppose persons that are making the money traceable so that we can go back and see what it's spent on. Jamaican people are used to, when they get donation under the PNP administration, it just spent up and nobody don't know where it's spent. Nobody don't know where it go. Nobody don't see anything that it build. You understand? But we have a government that is very strategic in what he is doing. If you notice, he explained what he is doing, so that in years to come we can look back and say, this is what was done, this is how the money was spent, and nobody get anything to put in their pocket. The People's National Party are just angry. They are just bitter because they don't have any money to squander. They don't have any money to pocket. They not get anything to put in their pocket. I bet you if it was them in power, the money would finish already, and we don't know how it's spent. I bet you. Because we have seen it before in the past. But we have a government who he's running, Mr. Holness run the country now. It's like a man building an empire. It's like a man building a business. Jamaica from 1962 until now should have been like Singapore.
Yes.
We see Jamaica just starting to move. But what happened, that people react negatively to change, right? When they see something new, They're going to have, just like when they have the 1.5 million tax threshold, you notice how they reacted at first to it? Because it was something new, right? They never see anything like that before. So they were like, it can't work, it won't work. And when it has been tried and proven, right, what you see what they want to do now? Push for it to go up even higher. So you see, people will always react negatively to change. People don't like to see change. But one other thing I noticed is that this prime minister is also very smart. He made them make up them nice and talk all sort of something, and then he just lick them with a focus. He just lick them with a focus. You know, like because look into this. Somebody was saying to the prime minister the other day, Prime Minister, you need to address the money donation issue, because people have been talking, the opposition have been talking, and it doesn't sound good, because even the cleaner, they have put out there a nasty headline saying that the government pocket. How dare they even suggest that? How dare they even say that the government pocket anything when it clearly says that they have the money that wasn't spent because of the heavy bureaucracy. It's a bureaucratic process why the money wasn't spent, you know, so it ended up where? Back in the consolidatory fund. It ended up right back in the consolidatory. We know where the money gone. We know where the money go. But they are of the view that the government, like what the People's National Party used to do, thief the money. That's what they're telling people. The government thief the money. You understand?
Uh-huh.
And these are things that people are using to say that the Prime Minister is corrupt. And all it proof we're saying to the people, if you're going to make allegations like that, produce your evidence. You keep saying the Prime Minister is corrupt. Shame me. Me defending the Prime Minister, shame me. Mr. Pastor, me defending the integrity of the Prime Minister. Then shame me. Show me something that the Prime Minister is not worth defending. And I will put my foot in my mouth and apologize for defending him. But if you cannot produce any evidence of corruption on his part, why do you want me to side with you in saying that he is corrupt? Right? You want me to become an hypocrite.
Yeah.
And I cannot be an hypocrite and a pastor. I have to choose one.
Yes.
I'm a pastor and a hypocrite, but I can't be pastor hypocrite. You understand? so basically, neighbor, that's what I'm saying tonight in a nutshell, because I have so many things to say, but that's it in a nutshell. Give somebody else a chance.
Well, man, thank you. Have a great night. You're working tonight?
Yes, I'm at work now.
Okay, well, best wishes, son. Stay safe, eh?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely great. All right. Let's see who else do we have. That's big. That's a big nutshell. Miss Justice said. Damsel said, Damsel is your husband. I didn't realize that. Gloria Moyston, good night to you. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Good night. Hello. Hello, Gloria. No, I'm not hearing the caller at all. Caller, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Not hearing the caller at all. Oh, the caller has been disconnected. All right. So the lines are open. We are at 19 after 8 o'clock, and I'm not so sure. Hello.
Neighbor, could you check if Harry is at YouTube, please?
Harry, are you at YouTube? Hello. Caroline, Sheffrin, is he over there? Okay. No, I don't see him over.
I don't see Harry.
Oh no, he's not here. All right. The internet is giving problem. Okay, so we don't have anyone up now. Part of the problem, you see, is that the Jamaica is a very tribal society, and our thinking is not necessarily about the country. it is really about our tribe. Tribalism has not served us well. And we Jamaicans take tribalism to a different level. Different level. You know, the politics that I see being practiced in Jamaica is a disgrace. The politics that Mark Golding is practicing is a disgrace, because it is not in the interest of the Jamaican society or the Jamaican. Okay? And you know, tribalism is very old, more than 1,000 years. Yes? And I have told you today that time before that tribalism is humanity's oldest software. It kept us alive when we lived in the caves, right? The clans, you know, the clandestine type of thinking. You know, my side is always right because it is out of my side that I get protection. It was out of good night, caller. Gone. Is my side give me food? I survive out of my side. But societies cannot grow if it never upgrades itself. I tell you all the time that that the Stone Age did not end because we ran out of stones. We found new ways to do things. We have to upgrade the software. Yeah, and the software of tribalism needs to be upgraded in Jamaica. This PNP thing that the PNP have to be in power, because that's my side, and we do anything to get my side in power. If you go back in history and you look at Rome did not fall because of the barbarians. Rome did not fall because of the barbarian. Rome fell when the Romans decided that the tribes mattered more than being Romans. And I need us to understand that we are Jamaicans. We are Jamaicans first. Yes, before we are comrades on labor rights, we are Jamaicans. When the tribes inside the nation became more important than the nation itself, we have to pride ourselves on nationhood, on the development of Jamaica, and get rid of this tribalism thing that we have pushing forward in Jamaica. Good night, caller. Hello. No. Jamaica know this story. Jamaica know this story very well. From the 1960s to the 1980s, West Kingston versus South St. Andrew, orange versus green. Was never about policy. It was about belonging. Where do you belong? Because your tribe fed you. Your tribe protected you. Communities were barricaded. Can't go in here. Your tribe told you who to hate, who to love. And while we were loyal to colors, the country suffered, bled. Illegal firearms flooded in. Communities were garrisoned. While we were garrisoning communities, our GDP flatlined for decades. I heard Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller in Parliament in a clip I was hearing today, saying that the multilaterals were never supporting Jamaica. When she was in power, the multilaterals were not supporting Jamaica. Jamaica had this ballooning debt, high crime, poverty. and we were getting no support from the multilaterals. Now, who created that? Who created that system that Miss Portia Simpson Miller was lamenting? The very people who want to be back in power today. And Jamaica is not out of the woods just yet. We haven't solved the economic problem. We haven't solved the problems of housing and health and education. And that is the cost of tribalism, because it trades long-term nation building for short-term group survival. And when you hear the Prime Minister speaking about the political interest, that's the short-sightedness of many people. Short-sighted. And what they don't understand, is that if Jamaica grows and improves, their lives will be better. But for many people, tribalism works. It works. And that is why the PNP them flood up this platform every time. They can't avoid it, and they have to come here and listen. Yes, because they know what we are talking is true. Parties practice tribalism for 3 reasons. And I'm going to tell you one day why the Jamaica Labour Party is better than the People's National Party. And I'm not telling you this in a biased way. It is because I have studied it. The People's National Party has an ideology that is tied more internally. Comrades will tell you that when their party is in power, them are right. The Jamaica Labour Party supporters will tell you that the party not looking out for them. I was listening to Rosie this morning on Infomedia, and I'm going to want to talk to him. As a matter of fact, I'll try and make some checks this week. The Jamaica Labour Party is more focused on the nation. The People's National Party tend to focus on the comrades. Now, politically, it works for the PNP because of the tribal nature of Jamaicans. Eat a food. Now, capitalism is about broadening opportunities for as many Jamaicans as possible. But here is the catch. Under capitalism, opportunities have to be, you have to take up the opportunity. In other words, the citizens have a responsibility or a role to play in ensuring that they accept and make use of the environment that the system creates. And that can work against you politically, because there is no direct benefit to you. Now, under the model that the PNP practices, there is a direct benefit that you see. You get it in an envelope, you get the zinc, you get the chickens, you get the piece of land, you get all of these things. And when you get those things, they tie you to the party, because you see the party now as your means of survival. And under the capitalist system, it is the country, it is the system that you see benefiting you. So you don't associate or attach the politics to it. But it is still the politics or the politician that is creating the environment. And Thomas Jefferson was correct. Why does government exist? He has the best definition of government, that government really exists to create an enabling environment in which the citizen can pursue their happiness. The pursuit of happiness is why government exists. They are to create the environment for people to thrive. Anything apart from that is not government. It is a system of patronage-based, clientistic system that is unsustainable. And we have seen what it has created, a system of dependency, where people sit down and depend on the state for their every need. And it is still part of the culture of Jamaica. And we have to move away from that. Resources that are to be spent on clinics and schools and roads have to be diverted to give people, to take care of the vulnerable. We have to work on getting rid of that, or we're not going to see the type of economic growth and development that we really need. And Plato warned about it, you know. Plato says when loyalty to fraction exceeds loyalty to the nation, then the nation dies. When loyalty to the fraction, loyalty to your party, where is your loyalty? It is to the party or is it to the nation? We are not Jamaica, the nation. We are Jamaica, the PNP and the JLP. And I will tell you something about tribes. Tribes don't build. Tribes raid. The tribal mentality of many is to raid. And once we get into power, it is to fill our coffers and to support our people. And when the coffers are empty, we borrow. And when we can't get any more, nothing more to borrow, we thief. It's a vicious cycle that has to come to an end. And if we don't look at it like this, we're not going to go forward as a nation. I mean, sometimes I think I am boring. Because, you know, I come with these academic stuff. But it is a problem we face. And you have to look at how other nations have thrived. What did they do? What did they do that we are not doing? Or maybe we need to ask, who do they have? Or who do we have that they don't have? Someone spoke to me from Barbados yesterday and told me that some of what is happening in Jamaica couldn't happen in Barbados. Imagine, Hurricane Melissa wiped out 56% of our GDP. 56%. 56% of the country's GDP. And 7 months after that, we have just signed the NARA bill. After huge obstruction from the opposition People's National Party. Tell me if we are serious about building the country. We're not. Well, at least the PNP is not. And yet they want to get into power. I don't understand. Whole communities are under rubble. And the bill that is to launch the country forward almost got stalled in Parliament because the opposition don't want it to happen. And the entire party voted no. There are some people that are hurting the nation. There are some people in Jamaica that are hurting the nation. They are hurting Jamaica. And some of you people out there, you're watching on the For You page. I know you are over there. You're running behind them, listening to their lives, reposting their garbage on the trash. Look at your situation. Is it better? How is your life better? Open your eyes, man, and see who cares about you, who cares about their tribe, and who cares about you and your development. After all, you think $5,000 can feed you for 5 years? You take a $5,000 and you go vote. What are you doing now? Do you have a job? There are many people hurting the nation. When you listen to their lives, when you listen to the things that they are saying online, you see them interested in a Jamaica? You see them interested in a you? And they are getting paid to do it? The definition of tribalism is that it no matter if it hurt the nation, once it benefits the tribe. And I must tell you that the comrades is the biggest tribe in Jamaica. The People's National Party is operating now like a 300-year tribe. That's not a political party. Tell me one piece of good policy that has come out of that party now in the last 5 years. Tell me what you have heard from Mark Golding in the last 5 years that you could say, yeah, we agree with that. They're a tribe. They're a tribal group. And I don't think that they should be trusted with power. Because you have to look at how they have functioned over the last 5 years. Self-obstruction. That's the oxymoron. You don't obstruct the country because you want to push your party forward. The people reject that. And my God, sometimes I feel burdened. Sometimes I feel so overwhelmed to lead this fight, this struggle to teach, to open the eyes of Jamaicans that you have to get involved. You have to see what is happening to you. Politics is not perfect, you know. And I'm not here suggesting to you that politics is perfect and that the Jamaica Labour Party is a perfect party. I would be a hypocrite. But they are better. They are better. They are better at governing. They are better at governance. And the history shows that whenever they are in power, Jamaica thrives. And whenever the PNP is in power, Jamaica declines. Now, who can come up here and challenge that? Reasonably, who can do it? Look at the period of the 1960s to the 1970s. And then you go from the 1970s to the 1980s. And then you look at the 1980s to the 1990s and look at the 1990s until now. And every period that the Jamaica Labour Party has been in power, Jamaica experienced economic prosperity and growth. And when the PNP comes in power, they reverse it. Why? Because one party is looking out for the nation and that weakens them politically. And the other party is looking out for their tribe and that strengthens them politically. That's why the PNP was able to win election after election, because it kept its part of the population happy while the rest of people suffer. And if you can keep enough people happy, they'll keep you in power. That's tribalism. You see what is happening in South Africa? And Mr. Patterson was correct. The fight for scarce benefit and political spoils. It's created hostile tribes that are perpetually at war. And what your Prime Minister has come out to say is that the system is antithetical to your growth and development. If you don't want to open your eye and see it, then and your business that. You need to understand that the system of bureaucracy, plantocracy, technocracy are not in your interests. Though they provide guardrails for power, they are not acting in your best interests. Your interest is to come off at the little piece of land and come out at the little one room and stop using the buff back toilet. And for your children to attend good schools, and for you to go to good hospitals and drive on good roads. That's it. Because those who are holding you back are sitting down in their living rooms now having steak and oxtail and watching big flat screen TV cool under them AC while you hot and mosquito are coming at your house and you don't know water and your road bad. But guess what? They're giving you $5,000 and then give you 25 chicken. So you are tied to them. We leave you at 9 o'clock tonight. TV man. Good night to you, TV man. Not there.
You hear me, neighbor?
I'm hearing you, sir.
I hear you said it all, man. You've been saying it right, man. You've been saying it right, neighbor. Especially where you're saying that the party choose their people, but they're not giving them enough for them to live. Then give them enough for them to come depend on them and keep coming back to them.
Yes.
And keep them at a bit, them at bay. So each time they come, they're always hungry and they need.
Yes.
So if you're fighting, don't you have the strength to fight. They have to just surrender and submit to the treatment until they go around again and come right back to the same cycle. So then because of that, now themselves build garrison. And that era becomes for them here now because people can't afford things anymore. So true, you can't afford things now. They are the one come across and say, "Me give you something." See, me give you something, give you some land, but not give no title, not give no paper with it.
Right.
And now for 50 years and 20 years down the road, changes and things will come where government will come and might have asked you to move. And
yes.
Then you see one out and say, well, we didn't live here so on. And if you check the boundary where the piece of land where they give, and 50 unoccupied nearly so much more.
Yes.
So much more you're going to live up and one live there and say, hey, John, go to go live me, I go to go live too. And if Sophia live me, I go too. So it becomes that garrison.
Yes.
And when it becomes that garrison, they turn around. They are the one who turn around and keep you at bay certain way, keep you in position.
Yes.
I did hear the same one thing did say they were tailoring a piece of era. There was a piece of plate. There was an area them they supposed to deal with some cutting the one or some thing. And when Bunty, I think Bunty, but he's the one who said, man, tailor to fit them, come to fit. But I think they lose that, they did lose that seat one time, lose it. Tailor to fit for them needs.
Yes.
Because they want that to be a seat for them in parliament. But when you look into it, why these people say they are for the poor and they rule over Jamaica more than anything else. And in charge for Jamaica when things are cheap and things are penny worth of money and all of these things. And these civics group, I've been noticing these civics group did lock up, We need to charge them for
they're to be locked up. So how you mean lock up?
they need to charge for perjury and conspiracy, man. Conspiracy.
They're to be locked up. So how you mean lock up?
Then if you couldn't sit down and you sit down and you lower government to keep people locked into. I want to want people here, they don't want to feel. I want people here really. I want to say government could do more for people,
Yes, sir.
And you sit down at a civics group and allow these set of people to do the country this way. That's how the only man told you drop them to 20 years. You listen to that speech?
Yes, sir. Let me ask you a question, TV man. Do you think that that Jamaica can be fixed?
Of course, Jamaica can be fixed, never.
What is going to require?
Jamaica can fix, never. Remember that these are the same people have their one people on the road. A lot of people been saying this a crime.
But when you listen to the Prime Minister and you see the opposition that he is undergoing, the technocracy, the bureaucracy, the civic group. Why is it that there is not more support for the government, TV man? Why is the PNP still so strong after there have been such a destruction?
Look here now. Because the fight, look here. I'll try to show some sympathy, neighbor. You can know when you eat a pint for them, and you step on one to it. Look on the thing there. Where Chang gone. What were they fight? If I did.
Yes, yes. Chong.
You still want to nice them, make?
Yes.
And they tip on them too. And that's why they want to control us. So again, they want to be responsible for it.
So you are saying that the country can be fixed, even within the opposition that the Prime Minister is facing. And when I say opposition, I'm not only talking about the parliamentary opposition. I'm talking about the civic groups, the NGOs.
Yeah, the same thing we're saying.
Even the church.
Look here. Because watch me now. What the government has to do.
Yes.
When it comes to the civic group, if the government having a power civic group, whenever time somebody need to remove and replace. No opposition can tell you who to put there. Because anytime they're trying to tell you who to put there and who they don't want.
But the government don't appoint the civic groups, sir.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, any group at all, any area, you're going to find somebody to do anything. You don't let this opposition, you can know when something goes wrong. Anytime you put somebody in a position, you see them come out and start to make uproar, right? That means they're not going to get anything from that person there. And they know.
Yes.
So they don't want nobody like here. Look out for the narrow. You see how big this gentleman here? They hear they start to talk. Because what? You don't fit them needs. Because as long as you can keep the people poor, like for instance, taking Westmoreland, taking some garrison European be control for years. As long as you can keep them like people like that. PMP don't really want the people that open to it,
Yes.
They want them to come up on social media of the government every day and say, see, the government are thief and the government are this, so then come up with so much narrative. They have people collect money from PMP government, from the PMP party, or the PMP government, PMP party. You have people who collect money from PMP party every month. Every month. That's why, as I said to you, you can listen to them. If you listen to these people words and the way they put their words and the way they them statement, Mark Hollins sent $1 billion to give Blogger. How Blogger know? Blogger is government. Blogger is citizen of the country because some of them never come from here, then they're American, then they're all over them to them team. No. When you say I go give because they know the agreement what they have with some of these people to tear down the government. Because they are telling something for them feel good, because they show no trick. It's how they work on the people mind. They know 3/4 they look them black. So them know 3/4 they look you them black and go up on TikTok and all these things to make money and try to get the algorithm up and everything going. You're quick to tell them that because but look the vote from those set of people now. If you say yes, then the people when not care, give you what? When you go to parliament, what will he give you? What is going to give you? Give you what? If you want that to give you that or nothing, you can go to your Iraqi friend and tell him so what you know. Give him something to disperse to the people like that. Your Iraqi friend can put that together, you know.
Yeah.
You don't think so, neighbor?
Absolutely.
Your Iraqi friend can put that together. You don't need to come to your country for that. You understand me? So these people are for individual people. They're not for the country, not for the people and neighbor. These people are individual people. They come to the committee, as I tell you the other night, and the money go when they come and pay me, when they pay say my share and give you anything. If a $10 come, one man take $6 out it.
Yes.
And one other man and another man take 2 tight, and before you know it, the next one's going to have a bar counter. For sure, for 50 people.
Yes, sir. Oh.
As I've been telling you, this is how they work. They not give you no help yourself. So when I learn to come up with the heart and I say heart free, you hear them at the same one come up. Remember, you know, I want to tell you something, maybe you don't know if you didn't know where you're a seat, you know. But I can go into school and already 2 things, you know. I feel where Omar David is send out Mark Golden on a team to do one investigation about how the money, some money for spend. And when Mark Golden come back, Mark Golden, the one will say, cut out heart.
Yes.
Cut the money for heart. You remember that?
Yes.
Mark Golden is the one who come back and said to Omar, say, cut out heart. Because we don't need to finance that. That because truth that come from the Iraqi friend in pocket. Say, cut out that. So these are the set of people, these people are jumping for. You know what they want to jump? Why they are jumping, they don't really want to know what is going on about the country and what these people, good people, are doing.
Yes.
This is the same man now. I know this is the same man where say it is for the poor and the most. Yes, of course it's for the poor, because life is the poor. Like when you keep them poor, you can't be the master over them.
Yes.
You can't be the master over them. You can't be the dictator over them. You can be the one them to tell them when to come. So if I'm saying, if these people are for the poor neighbor, why these people are developed? Why you have so much of them? So now the $100 come in a neighbor. 3/4 of these people, where you see $100, if you look out finance, not this country right now, you know. They don't even have a good idea in a neighbor.
Don't even have an ID.
Not even a good idea. That's why they have 5 years needs, you know. Because they know them needs to come in. Right, we are the man to pass this. Look how they're wicked to, I'm sure they're wicked to their own country, neighbor. I'm sure they're wicked to their own country. When you're going to America, I understand, I've never traveled, but this is what I understand. When you're going to America, what you're full out, you give authority down to your very high color.
Yes.
Remember, you don't reach for a plane, you know, neighbor.
Yes.
You don't left your country, you know. And you give everything
to the people because you want to get over there.
Because you want to get over there. That's why I said, the people when put it up and break it up for just one idiot, you can understand it.
You call them idiots, sir. You call them idiots.
Because people dress up every day and they're nice and have clothes every day and have some money or some car and
you call them idiots, sir.
That's an idiot.
My God.
I want them done, they have they can consider mom and daddy see you way. They consider the mom and daddy can't.
You call them idiots. You call them idiots, sir.
So you fly same bloodline. So you stay and then when you're done, you come quarrel with another man when never know about your problem.
Break it down for me here. Break it down.
You You compare that man, we never done it, but your mama, that's the problem. I expect him supposed to take your responsibility, your great grandmother problem. And wash it off and clean it off and put it on good nice linen for lie down and tuck it in. Cover it up.
Yes.
And make no one can go to sleep. You understand? Because when you sit down and look at your neighbor, when you're going away on your neighbor, you don't know the boy country again.
Yes.
You don't have no clue and no idea, nothing.
Yes, yet you give them your fingerprint.
And you give everything. And when you're done, your government asks you.
My God.
For similar, not even as much.
That's true, sir.
Not even as much away that man asks you for. And you make the opposition come out and tell you, enough to eat and enough to do it.
That's true.
You know why? When you overseas, they got no control over you. And it can't go dictate to America's people, the overseas people, where them for collect and where them for collect and what for do. Because he will get barred too.
Yeah, a sensible thought is have you ever wondered about it though TV man? Them people are really, you call them stupid.
Them stupid fool labor, you get them.
Oh my God. You're fool.
Remember, you're born and grow here.
Yes.
You know everything about here. You know that no matter what you talk about, and I talk about people are going to get your data, and people are going to get your this, and people are going to get your that, and people are going to, somebody can't be trusted. But how can you know the next man can be trusted, and every day see on news say they have problem with this and they have problem with that, and people are scammers and people are doing that.
Yeah.
And we still go to Jamaica and scam them up there.
Yeah.
We need to Jamaica and turn out and get them data and scam them up there. So how crucial them will be with fear information? And you don't want to give your own country.
Boy,
amazing.
amazing.
You have nobody that give fear information just before. You never have nobody that give fear information just before.
What an amazing thing.
Right? And but it's a system in the neighbor. It's a style of people you know. When they tell them that, you tell them go against the government of the day. Go against the government of the day. Don't cooperate. No make him do nothing to make you better. No make him do nothing. Because watch out, if I put it in one chip you see when I'm analog. While everybody got digital either you.
Hold on. They are keeping the people in analog.
Yes.
And them are go digital.
And them are go digital. God, then they said, nah, something, yeah. Them themselves from overseas, because they already have them good visa, have them good things, everything. So them themselves will keep up to date with the American system and the Europe and the world system.
Yes.
And have the people them here in Halala seeing way. So when anything for one and anything for broke, when these people forget help, it take a while for them get you. Because for people to change your over from analog to digital, you have to run to 2JP. Remember you already banned that country. And modern age and people, when anything figure, look here, I show you now. In a COVID, when the money give out, never. You remember what him said? When the opposition said? Give the people, the caretaker, I try to trick the Prime Minister. Give the caretaker, give the caretaker, community the money. They will know who to share it up with. You remember that statement?
Yes, sir. $50 million.
Good. Give the people the caretaker them the money in the community and they will share it up because they know who to share it with. Watch me now. When the government said no, you have to get an ID and a bank account. You want to money come out say the Prime Minister have to pay for your bank account for what the bank account can. Him now nobody for the bank account, so they help him oneself. She that company cut all viral on TV can say she did not take her money open her account. For nothing. For nothing. For nothing, you know. For say no. For nothing. When the government give you money, Me I give you the money and me go up the account for you. You understand? So what them do is the bureaucracy where they use on the people there. So the people don't take so long to get some of them dead. I'm hurricane come again and blow over. And all them a look man. All them a look man. Then now tell the people say 78 billion spent already. And the 1.4 billion left back him and tell him, look what the one, look what they have us. They have us up. But we call money, we put them here, because we don't have to too. So we need to run through this like Tasmania. And when hurricane blow tomorrow morning, come back again. Come hungry again. That's the lifestyle they keep the people in with. Nyama for everything for tonight. And tomorrow we go beg when we to a book again because that's how we feel live. Not nothing less. Not nothing stay back. That come like tell you to pick your game one pack of biscuit and he just never tap telling you you have everything, just nyam telling you you have a dead.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning when you come back.
Yes.
You go eat. And the moment you drop yourself a gun and start ball and expect him to take one out of gear,
Yeah.
2 times.
Let me ask you a question, TV man. There is a much publicized petition that is going around on social media, and it's generating a lot of attention, and even some labor rights are getting involved in listening to it. What do you think about it?
That is too sponge. Break it down for me, cause
Some PNP people you don't hear about Marvin.
who Marvin?
Uh-huh.
I get that about.
Yes.
Tell me the ignorant man. He's a liar. What is he? He's a liar.
No, I don't know what he mean.
And tell me something though. I now feel like him defending people. I see like him saying that defend people, and I see him with 2 men on TV, and I see him with another man on TV against one police.
Yes.
Where they were. I saw him like him say I represent the police. What position him hold? What is it he do? What he do? I don't know what he do, but I'm trying to find out what this guy does.
Well, when you find out, you let me know.
Because when I listen to this man, I listen to people in the neighbor. That's why we can't talk so much. Because when we left school, we don't go to high school, we don't get no education in the neighbor. So we can't tell the public that,
Oh.
We don't get education. When we finish all the school, we don't graduate and we don't go. But there's a common sense neighbor.
Yes.
Like when we learn, excuse me, please and thank you. Maybe that's what keep us living so long. Because you take on a man's shoes, and you know you willfully take on his shoes, and decide you want disrespect him on top of it. You will lose your life quickly.
Yes.
And things will happen to you bad. You step on a man's shoes, and you know you step on his shoes. Sorry, sir, I'm really sorry about that. And if you say you want to wipe off and move on. And you step on it, you cause the mess. What is so bold for you to fix your problem and move on?
Yes.
When I listen to that guy, neighbor, I hear him call some name and him disrespect and him carry on, and neighbor, you can't see the boy so ignorant. You know my problem, neighbor? I tell you what is really problem.
He's ignorant, sir.
Very ignorant.
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you why I feel this way. It might feel that you have 100,000 followers.
Yes.
Why do we have followers? Because some people just follow you, just go for the page and they look at the page.
Some people just follow you.
Just look. Something I go through the thing and you just look and think and so forth. It doesn't mean they're loyal to you.
That's true.
It doesn't mean they have.
Absolutely correct, sir.
It doesn't mean them are put out a foot for you.
That's right.
Don't get overzealous and
Don't get overzealous. You're so right, TV man.
And I hope jerk with it. Because what's going to happen tomorrow morning if anything for wrong and George said that you for 5 years in a prison or anything. You will never find one of those subscribers come to you or followers come on to you. That's why you took it. So tell the George somebody spend 1 year for you.
Yes.
Tell the George we spend 1 year, so that's a 9 year.
Yes.
So you're going to do 9 and we do 1
I wonder if they would treat me the same.
Something. I listen to the guy. When I listen to the guy, I said, my God, man. Who he represent? What he done? I don't know what he done. I don't know if it has, I don't know what he done. Because I don't even find out. I don't even know. But never remember. I don't know the guy.
Yes.
What I saw on TV when he said I represent, I see him with one gentleman when he said in the on the roadside and people are passing a call to him and he must say he might represent the police go down there. See with another gentleman or police guy on TV that they must say police let them do their job and whatsoever and them well for foolishness we demand them whatever. And I'm saying if all right, say you have to represent people there, you need to show leadership skill.
Yes.
You need to represent people with the terms where anybody want to be like you. Where professional level and standard level. You need to represent that when you're going in front of judge. Because one thing I can tell him, with where I go on with and where I behave, when you're going in front of judge, a judge is not immune not to hear you outside that he or she would even take it in consideration. They will not take it in consideration how you behave. They will take it in consideration and they will give you a hard time in court. They will give you a hard time in court because you're going to disrespect this one and that the one, and when you're going in front of judge will give you a hard time in court.
Yes.
Prove your case. And you cannot behave like this, be able to talk about something like some moke and some money and I may say, okay, you get a one thing go happen. What is that? What is it that you make it look like say you have the world on your shoulder now, so you are so braggadocious. Yeah, but that guy, something is wrong with him. Something is true. I don't even want to sing about him because something is wrong with that guy. Because for a man who says so intelligent, you cannot be so ignorant.
He's braggadocious.
Yes.
Brother,
For a man who to say him have that level of know how one can fix problem and no, you're too ignorant. If you have that skill. You're like a trade man, you have a bunch of tools in your garage. But you can't use them.
Yeah.
You can't operate so, man. You cannot operate so. If you're going to represent, are you one? And then I understand he's putting up some petition I want to remove government.
Yes. What a thumbs up.
Who is you to tell Jamaican people? Who is you to tell Jamaican people? That's why I said it in the neighbor. And the little thing when you see come up on the algorithm and these things, they must say, okay, have this followers or this. Because Jamaican people are that, you know. They believe somebody might get,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, followers. What I mean? Of course, I mean, for TikTok. Purpose. And for him, getting some money.
Yes.
Cashing it on something. For him on TikTok. But what that mean to court, to the law of this country? What that mean to the system that we're living under? What that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That only means something on TikTok or YouTube or what you have here. Social media life I live. So
Yes.
living on social media like I can walk 100,000 people back here. 100,000 people on social media, 60,000. Let up on social media.
Yeah.
Not for the real world. Not for the real world. So all of these things get to his head and swell him up and make him just carrying on. Never. Let me tell you something, man. This him not ready. Him not ready.
Yeah.
The next one again was Malan. Finish about it. Just your cooking dry in here.
Yes.
Just your cooking dry in here. Because never Malan is like an old crocodile.
He's an old crocodile, sir.
He's an old crocodile, that man. He happens like an old crocodile. He moves like an old crocodile. Malan, school. Never. You ever look up how much in school? I like to laugh, I stand to laugh in school. In the whole system, every school perform what in school.
He's an old crocodile.
And after the JTA. The JTA are fixed. Then go around like a box. I saw a little box one day. I saw them a little box and says the JTA teachers who have vote. Go and drop things there. carton box thing. We don't tape over it and want something. So anybody can tape up one box and get two of the same box. And when I look at this, how can you make a man to represent you worse than you?
Yeah.
You ever
Yeah.
said that?
No, sir. Well, you know, TV man, why? It was nice talking to you, and I'm hoping that we can continue this conversation tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
But
I'm just trying to show you this part, you know, neighbor.
Yeah.
Just trying to show you this part, you know. How can a man who you're trying to put away to represent you? He's worse than you with representative. You look at the man's school.
yes, in
All
its,
the other principal them, all the other principal them
yeah,
make headway.
not
And
represent
this-
not representing well at all.
Not representing well.
No.
And then you see why they only come on contrive to talk about money for the JTF to benefit them back down and line their pocket and yourself.
Yeah. Well, TV man. Tomorrow you link me back.
Yeah, man. they're
Fascinating.
listening to the program.
Fascinated. Yeah, love you, man, and we really appreciate you whenever you come.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
Yes.
All right. God bless you. Well, listeners, the start of the week, Sunday. This is the first day of the week. Tomorrow is June 1. Your car license. Make sure say your car license before you go on road tomorrow, because the police will be out and they'll be checking your license to make sure that your car license. That's gonna have to do it for us tonight on YouTube and on TikTok until we join you tomorrow. Justice Queen Boss Selburn Cox, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for your love. Thanks to my moderators, Damsel and Blueberry and Keisha, Caroline. Oh, thank you so much. Scratch where you are. Big up yourself. Shafreen, anything over YouTube there before we go?
Yes, neighbor. Why am I?
Go ahead. I love you too, Jem.
So yes, neighbor, there is something here. I'm not sure why am I echoing. I'm echoing on somewhere and I'm not sure where. But yes, we do have two polls that we did this evening.
Yes.
The first one is, who should have the greatest influence over Jamaica's future? And the selections were the people through elections. So that was 52% who chose that. Elected government, 42%. Now get this, experts and technocrats, there are 3% who chose that. And
Wow.
civic society organizations, yes, I know, 3% chose that.
Oh.
That's interesting, right?
It is interesting, and I would want those listeners to know that the bureaucrats and the technocrats are really the ones right now that seem to be having the greatest influence over where the country goes.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very much true. And they don't their names are not on the ballots at all.
No, they are simply powerful people who have their own interest at heart.
Yes.
We don't have the people's interest at heart. And so the people need to understand that they need to take that power into their own hands.
That's the point that we've been trying to make all night.
Yes, go to the ballot box and cast your votes. Because
not only cast your vote, but be active in the governance process.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly
For example, I think that there should have been more people coming out to support NARA, to say, we want this we want
our country developed and done quickly.
We want the country to be developed. Yes.
We want housing for people who are under TARPs.
Yes.
And how is it that the same people who are under TARPs are in those constituencies and their own MPs are fighting against NARA?
Can you imagine?
Right? Oh, that is just sad. But there is another one that I asked. So what poses the biggest threat to Jamaica's democracy? Mm-hmm. And there are 4 choices. One of them, political tribalism, that one was rated among the pollers at 58%. Bureaucracy was 24%. Corruption was 18%. And the one that I think this is interesting because foreign influence has 0%. However,
0%.
I'm zero. But what I've noticed is it seems like it's persons who are not in Jamaica who has the loudest voice about what needs to happen in Jamaica. More so than persons who are politically affiliated in Jamaica. And even the processes that were the bureaucracy that currently is active in Jamaica, some of which NARA has now been approved to go around. And of course, there's corruption, which is a problem. But it's funny, everyone who voted, no one chose foreign influence. But I think that's interesting.
That is interesting indeed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, and that wraps it up for our polls for today.
Well, that's right. Okay. Well, fantastic. Great. Well, Shafreen, thank you so much for tonight. And I know I kept you a little late, but have a great evening. Take care of yourself and take care of those people in your household. Okay, bye-bye.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.